Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Got a few things to show you today, some cool stuff. We'll start with pocket dump. All the stuff that earned a spot in the pocket today. The Bic and the Swiss always earn their spot because the amount of space they take up in your pocket versus how much use you get out of them, I mean, they got to be there every day. We like them. Knife today. The knife that I just recently got. And, oh man, I love this knife. It's got lines. It's got real nice lines. And this clip point is, according to GEC, they're Turkish clip. So the spine gets clipped all the way back here. I guess that's where they draw the line at GEC. So, but I mean, that is one hell of a clip point, right? That's really useful blade, super slicey, really nice thin grind on it, like most of GEC's knives. The shape of the swedge it's pleasing, it's satisfying, it's a well-formed piece of metal. And the handle's great too. Some character in the ebony. And some people prefer ebony with the lighter streaks, or some people prefer it all black, and I'm like, give it to me all the ways. I like it all. I love ebony handles. So 74 Stallion, if I didn't mention. If you get your hands on one of these, definitely go for it. Great action, looks cool, does the job well, as well as any of them. Super well built, just nice knife, nice proportions. Great Eastern Cutleries, they've got that down. Everything they make is well proportioned, and we'll see some more of that in just a minute. But first, I want to talk about this again. So this case, I still didn't look it up, but it's from Knives Ship Free. This case is still really just been a game changer. And last time I showed you my Bark Rivers Knives Essential 2. But we didn't really talk about it, so let's talk about this knife. It is nice. It kind of looks like a clip point. And now one thing I want to mention about Bark River knives, they have a lot of knives that kind of look like a clip point, but they're not. They're a drop point. This is a drop point. If you look at the line, that's uninterrupted there. They just cut this clip swedge in it, and it looks good. But this is not a clip point. If they cut it there and then swedged it, yeah, then you got a clip point. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, some people call this a clip. It's not a clip. It's the same with the regular Essential and some of their other models as well. But nonetheless, awesome knife. I like this. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say if I like it better than the regular Essential. We could take a look at both of them in another video in the future. I don't have it here right now, but I mean, this knife it's just pocket perfection. For the size and the weight, you get a lot. And I mean, a lot of it is the handle. This is not the smallest handle knife, and it's kind of thick, and it's got some weight to it. However, I feel like the overall package gives you a lot. You definitely get a lot more blade than the regular Essential, and this just feels like more like it feels like a much bigger knife than the Essential to me. In my opinion, this feels like a much bigger knife to the Essential, but it's not that much bigger, but it feels a lot bigger in hand. So the Essential 2, I mean, they're both winners. You can't go wrong with them, but this is a much more capable and robust knife. And I recommend both of them. I really do. They're both great knives if you want to carry a fixed blade in your pocket. And they're both a lot of knife for the size. So Essential 2, it's a good one. And yeah, of course we got the tie scribe bolt. Great pen. Didn't really show it off too much last time, but mine's got some patina. It's titanium, but titanium, the way it scratches up is kind of like a patina, and it's great. I mean, this is not a pen that I babied at all. It was just when I carried it. I mean, there was a time when I was carrying this pen a lot, so it's, you know, it's got some use. I was never hard on it or anything, but this is yeah, sweet pen, and it looks cool, and it just looks better the more you carry it. It's got the nice bolt action. I mean, some people really need a bolt action pen. I've got this, and I've been carrying the Zebra F701 almost every day over this until I got this case, because I just felt like the the knurled grip on the Zebra is just, I didn't want to damage the leather here, where I felt like this is just, you still have the grooves in there, but fits in there much better, or with less damaging friction. Anyway, that's the pocket dump. Enough about that, because we got some other stuff to look at today, and it's some cool stuff. So put this away. Essential 2. I mean, this, if that's in your pocket and that's all you got, I mean, you're gonna miss the tweezers and the toothpick and the scissors and the nail file. Maybe some days you won't. And the lighter, again, depends on how you live. And this, I mean, really, if this is all you got in your pocket, you're doing good. You're gonna be a-okay. It doesn't matter what the world throws at you. But having all these in the coin pocket's real nice. So on to the next. And what I got right here just arrived in the mail today, so I'm excited about that. This is a 25 Easy Open. This is a Titty-Ute, and I collect these 25 Easy Opens. This one's it looks pretty clean. It's got a little spot on it right there, but it doesn't look like there's any pitting. Really nice jig bone. Look at that. That's just a winner. Now, you got the Easy Open, you got the sheep's foot blade, but you don't have the long pole that you usually have. So this is just, the only way to open this is a pinch. And this could probably use a little oil, but even without it, it's got great action. 25 sheep's foot, as you know, you've seen, you might have seen it in my other video. One of my favorites. This one's just, it's so nice. It's pretty much new. This will probably be more of a collection piece than a user. But, I mean, if that was in your pocket every day, you'd be stoked. You'd always be happy to pull that out of your pocket and use it for whatever you got to do. That's what I like about traditional knives. I feel like they add a little bit, and you know, it's different for everyone. And I'm sure for, you know, all knife guys, everyone gets their feeling in a different way. But for me, pulling out something like this that has that nice satisfying click in hand and just kind of engages you from the moment you take it out of your pocket. The traditionals are different for me. The moderns, I don't really care about the moderns. And I don't really care about anything except for traditionals. They're where it's at for me. I'm starting to get into fixed blades, and fixed blades are cool too, but I sort of look at them differently than folders. Sort of a different kind of a tool. and sort of different reasons to carry it, but folders and the traditionals are where it's at. It's you can't beat it. And yeah, I just got this in the mail right now. I just opened it right before I started this video. Whew, that's a winner. I'm super stoked. I'm gonna have to do a 25 video because I got a bunch of cool ones and a lot to say about them. Great knife, really well built and cool pieces. They've been making these. This is one of the first patterns they started making, and this one's from 2009, fairly early in terms of how long GEC has been along. I think they made their first knives in 2006 or maybe 2007. So now to, I guess I've been going for a while, but what I wanted to talk about today was whittling, because GEC knives, there's a few of them that are really good for whittling, in my opinion. And this is a little guy that I made. I sort of thought of him as a peasant while I was making him. I'm like, I'm gonna make a peasant, some just like kind of unkempt dude, got a hat on. I drew on him with some pencil at some point. But anyway, there's a few Great Eastern knives that I really recommend for whittling, and the first two are going to be ones that you can get. So I'm going to start off with this piece right here, because this is the most recent of the dedicated whittlers that Great Eastern's made. And this, I will say that you got this main blade right here. It's not quite as thin as it could be. Hey, listen, this is thin. This is a thin knife, but if you're doing detail work, this is a little bit, it feels like you want it to be a little bit finer and thinner behind the edge when you're doing detail work. Not really a complaint, because this knife does have two other blades. Now, this is a split back Whittler. Most of you are probably familiar with that. If not, it's got a tapered liner going down the middle here. This one's stainless, nickel, or carbon. I'm not sure what the liner is made out of in this one, but it doesn't really look different from the springs, which are carbon. Anyway, yeah, tapered liner. So you got two blades back here, each riding on their own spring, as you can see. Tapered liner that ends, and then you got the main blade right over here, riding on both springs. So that's pretty cool. It's like, it had to be very well thought out when they were designing this knife. I mean, they've been making this for a long time. So Great Eastern, of course, is on the shoulders of giants, as they say. However, they keep that old magic alive, and so they got to have some credit for that. In any case, man, this knife is just, they also made this one with wood handles, but I mean, in the looks department, you got this killer jig bone, you have these fluted bolsters. This knife just looks good. When you see it, you want to grab it. And man, I can't say it enough. Everybody needs one of these for sure, or a few. I have a few. I got a few in both of the different handle materials, and I don't know why I am the way I am. Anyway, for whittling, this is the blade right here. You got that little coping blade. It's like a small sheep's foot. Super, super thin. That's gonna do a lot of your detail work. So those two blades right there are really where it's at for whittling. Great action on all the blades too, which is just, it's a pleasure. Now I'll get that open here. Half stops on the little blades, so that's cool. And look how nicely they all fit together in there. These knives are an engineering marvel. I know they made them a while back and it's not new technology, but these are really cool. I'm glad people make stuff like this. Gives you a little bit of faith in humanity in these dark days we're in. I mean, this is fine for whittling too, but most of the cuts you're going to be making are not going to really benefit from having some belly to the blade, but man, it's a looker, super functional, it's really well built, and just amazing. So that's one of my favorites. Now, another fairly recent and not really hard to find knife. Both of these knives you can find for less than $200, which, I mean, these days for Great Eastern, it's really all you can ask. However, who knows what the future may hold. Now, anyway, this is the 62. They called this one the Easy Pocket Congress. It's on that Congress pattern with the sort of, it's like a bent bar almost. This has camel bone handles. I think they're sweet. They've got that little bit of character to them, just enough color. And it's got this straight bar shield on there. It's got a classy and classic look. Now, take a look here. Both these blades are super thin. Look how they're ground. Look how you could see it from the top, how they plotted that out. Satin blade with the Northfield. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the polished blades for the ones I'm gonna use, but you can't deny how nice that looks when they're new. When you use them, you know, the satin and the etch doesn't stand the test of time. But that's, you know, if it's going to be a collector's piece, hey, not a bad way to go right there. Now, you got this other blade here. And now, so this blade's great for whittling. It's great for detail work. It's robust enough for putting in your broad strokes. Secondary blade is lacking in that department because, at least for me, now, I don't know, different strokes, as they say, and I've sort of, for whittling, for me, it's something that I sort of kind of taught myself rather than, you know, figured out how to do from watching videos or something. So I don't know, I could be missing a lot. I'm just gonna say, I don't think the spear point's the best blade to have right here. I don't need that belly right there, and I'd love to have another Wharncliffe. That said, Great Eastern did make a different version of this pattern in the same run of 62s. So we got the 62 right here, and the 38 right here, if I didn't mention. So the 62s, though, came in a 3-blade, 3 Wharncliffe blade, and it wasn't a split back Whittler, but it was still a similar kind of blade layout. Anyway, without getting into too much detail there, you can get the 62 with 3 Wharncliffes. It's kind of the ultimate Whittler, but this is the one I had on hand to show you. So yeah, this is just such a great knife. It's great as a dedicated Whittler. It's great as an EDC, like both of these knives. However, this is my favorite knife to whittle with from Great Eastern Cutlery, because, as I've said before, I'm kind of a bigger knife guy. I like the height or width, however you want to call it, of the handle on this knife. It makes me feel more confident to have this in hand. That said, you know, both of these knives are great. This knife just feels better for me. And the blade it's just such a, oh man. It's just my favorite blade to whittle with. And this is the Great Eastern 26. I think that's kind of perfect knife to use for wood. And even though it's small, it fills the hand, for me, better than either of these knives. That's what I like about the 26s and the 25s. They're stubby, they're short, but they've got something to grip. And that's, for me, I feel confident with a knife in my hand when I feel something. This is fine. It's fine. You're gonna do it, but you're gonna feel better doing it with this one. And this knife also has a little coping blade, which is perfect. Both of these blades are awesome, and I find when I'm whittling, I use them both equally, because they're both just really good blades to whittle with. This one's, you can sort of get into a little tighter spots with the little one, but I mean, this one's still pretty good. No half stops on this model, and I don't miss them. This opens up quick. Also a great EDC. If that's what's in your pocket, you're doing everything you need to do. So these are the three, for me, the three best whittling knives from Great Eastern Cutlery. I haven't tried all of them, but hey, this is what I got. These are all awesome. I'd recommend any of them any day. The 26 are going to be hard to find. They're not going to be cheap. Both of these ones, hey, the ship's not really sailed on them yet. You can still get them under 200. They're both great options. Yeah, if you can get them, get them. They're good. All right, so I got one more thing to show you today. This is going to be kind of a long video. Two more things, actually. And I can't see from where I am how long we've gone already, but I wanted to bring out an oldie and to kind of give you a comparison. So this 38 Whittler is, I'm not sure if it's based on a actual antique knife, but this is an old Schrade, and Schrade made the same sort of a split back Whittler back then as we got here, and you could see the pronounced contrast there. The tapered liner here is brass, so you could see that a lot better than on this one. So there you have it. It's not identical, and you got different blades, but it's you could see where they drew inspiration from. Now this one's got, now I want to mention this knife, when I got it, it was dirty. It was so dirty. It was the dirtiest knife I've ever got, and I got it for like $10 off eBay. And I could talk about this knife for a while. There's just lots of interesting little weird things going on with this knife. However, look at that construction. Look how they fit all those blades in there. That's fucking sweet. Pardon my French. I try not to curse too much on the videos. Anyway, got this sweet clip point as a saber clip, and that's a winner. That's just sweet. Hey, the other thing is, when I got this knife, it had no snap to the blades, and I'm super happy that after I gave it a little love, got to snap back on all three. Even this little clip. And I love how thin the blade is. Look at this little clip. You got 2 clips on a knife, you're doing all right. Life is good when you got 2 clips on a knife. I didn't think I was going to get snapback on this one, but I did, and I'm super happy about it, because that's a nice little clip point right there. And you got your coping blade. Really cool old knife. Now, I would take a clip or a coping blade any day over a spear. or a pen blade, as they call the sort of long spears like that. I would rather whittle with either of those blades than a pen blade any day. That's just me. Maybe not. Let me know. Let me know what you think. So, there's those. My old Whittler, my new Whittler. This one has been through the ringer too. It lost its shield. Still got the pin. The shield's gone. Lost this pin. It's clearly been rebuilt. And I'm thinking that this must have been rebuilt by the owner, who probably was just some sort of a craftsman who had the ability to do it. Really cool knife. I wish this one could tell me its stories. It was, so if memory serves me, which I think it does, this was like right after World War II is when this one got built. And I just imagine, like, it's probably built by a World War II veteran, or an old timer, maybe a World War I veteran. I wish this one could talk. I wanna know what this one's story is, but that's one of the things that's great. You get something that can't talk at all, but you wish it could, because this one could tell stories, and I bet this one could too. Check this out. One last knife to show you real quick. This is a old Cataragus Barlow. Cataragus. I don't know how to say it. If you know, enlighten me in the comments. So cool. I almost cursed again. All right, so the Cataragus. I'm just gonna say Cataragus, even if I am wrong. Anyway, this Cataragus stamp. That's what's up. Only on one side it's stamped, and I'm pretty sure these are stainless bolsters here, because what you can notice if you look at these two, and I'm not sure if this will show, but the nickel silver bolsters are going to have a yellowish tint to them, and the stainless is going to have a cooler bluish tint to the steel. Anyway, I'm losing light here, but I just thought this one looked so good I had to show you. Anyway, y'all, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.